I low key think they be taking shots.
So you sound like Karina. Every time Karina get a chance, yo, they some haters. I'm like, what you talking about? She's like, I think they talking shit about y'all. I'm like,
I think Karina, my girl. Tell Karina yes. Tell Karina low key. I think they be taking shots.
I was like, yo, I don't talk to them anymore. She was like, they going like they got. Tour when I get back, I got you. A couple other people they didn't have on there, but and I know they are, and I'm gonna tell you why. This is when the pod would start.
Yeah.
Hold on. So the joke about life is you start noticing when people don't rock with you certain ways. And so for me, what happened was I got kicked out of they dismantled their group chat. So I was like, all right, bet. Like, whatever. They started up a new one that I was in. I'm like, nobody don't talk in this shit. So I know y'all didn't get rid of it. And then I started looking at the topics. I'm like, And then I looked at it. I'm like, bro. Nah, that shit kind of boring, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, so we all on the same page, man. But yeah, they might be taking shots.
I do think somebody taking shots. I'm not taking shots at anybody, though, man.
Absolutely. Mike isn't. I will. I'm here to let y'all know this is the best podcast in North Carolina. Our shit is actually interesting. People come on, they love it. We give back to the black and brown and white community of the world, even though we're a black podcast.
And we have white listeners. That's the craziest part.
The craziest part is that the white listeners write us and be like, hey, white guy here, enjoy the pod. That'd be the funny part about this shit.
Actually, we have quite a few that I'm aware of, actually.
Yo, shout out to all the white listeners in the world. We respect you.
Yeah, no hate.
No hate. Nah,
hate here.
If you uplift us, yo.
Well, I mean, we just here for we here because black dads are being denigrated consistently, constantly over and over.
Do you want to start there? Because I could start with this Ebony magazine cover.
Man, let's go in and hop in it. Because see, I left it alone. I did. I didn't touch the Ebony cover. I didn't touch the British Vogue cover because.
Ooh, you did avoid that.
Yeah, because a month ago I told y'all that it's an agenda, right? Like I was just like, yo, I was like, I don't like this black man frolicking in the lawn. I don't like this black man with flowers, you know, like all this soft life stuff because you can't find it for anybody else, right? And we did the pod where you could not find it for anyone else, like you couldn't find it. So I was like, yo, I get tired of the agenda, and the reason why I really get tired of the agenda is because, you know, it be your own people, right? That's what drives me Excuse me. Look, first curse word already there. That's what drives me nuts. It's like
not even a minute.
It's always your own people, man. Like, and look, this is what I'm gonna start calling y'all, man. Y'all barfs.
Barfs. Okay.
You barfs, right? And what I mean by that is,
bitch.
No, let's see, Gavin, right? Black asinine radical feminists. All right. This is why our pod is so good, man.
I was gonna.
Here's the Gavin got to go bitch ass. No. Black asinine radical feminist.
My mom told me she refuses to listen to our podcast because she heard we cuss too much.
Tell your mom we cut like way back. Tell her to ask my mom.
That is true.
We've cut way back.
We have cut way back. All right, so let's do this. And at the end, I'm gonna give y'all my photography take.
Oh, welcome to the Black Dads Club.
Welcome to the Black Dads Club.
Hey, I was told that we come in like the baby on the beat though.
Absolutely,
like
just straight in.
In the moment the pod start, we all.
And the second part about this pod is this is the fourth wall, 1 wall, 2 wall, 3 wall. This is the fourth wall behind the cameras. I have cut off a minute of what we was talking about before because, you know, we might need to collab with some people later. We need them to guess.
Never know who you might need on the way up to the top.
Absolutely. So please follow us, like us, whatever. But let me get back to it. What came first? This Ebony cover came out first. Because homeboy,
I think so. They really, but it's almost like they came out like simultaneously.
It is
during Black History Month,
and they centered.
Good Lord!
My favorite part. So if you don't know what we're talking about A$AP Rocky and Rihanna on the cover of British Vogue, and we're talking about my man's name. I can't remember, but he's
Jonathan Majors, I think.
Absolutely, Jonathan Majors. That is his name. He's in Creed 3, and he's the new villain. Who, interesting enough, he's in Ant-Man versus the Wasp, and from all the accounts that I've heard, he is going to be like Thanos for the next phase, right? Like he's that villain.
Well, I mean, that's the thing though. He's that good though, right? So before anybody think that we're hating on the dude, we're absolutely not hating on him.
Nah.
The dude went to school at UNC, I think, right up the road. So he might be a fellow North Carolinian. Even though I'm not a North Carolinian, I've adopted.
You're a Carolina boy.
Yeah, I'm a Carolina boy.
My man just picked up a lizard out the studio and tossed it.
I am definitely a country boy. I did pick up a lizard at the beginning of the show.
I was looking for a box.
Because Gavin was looking for a box. I picked it up.
Shout out to the suburbs.
If it was a snake, though, we probably would have had to grab a box. I would not have killed it, though.
If it was a snake, I would have been gone. It's his studio.
But it is true. But Jonathan Majors also went to Yale. And I think a lot of people don't understand how many people in Hollywood that are like huge actors and actresses went to Yale. Like Yale's like a great school for everything.
He from Cali.
He from Cali, and he came to UNC.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
it had to be a scholarship.
Absolutely.
Who does that?
Yeah.
Unless you playing ball. So my man is on the cover of Ebony. Because that's the first one I saw. Because we didn't get Rihanna till Monday. But we definitely seen this episode of Ebony. And what happened was he's on the cover of Ebony. It is a Valentine's Day episode. And immediately I saw the flowers, right? It looks like briefs, flowers. And look, y'all have heard, we'll get to last episode, but y'all have heard Mike takes. And if Mike is like on one end of the spectrum, I might be, more than likely I'm on the other end, and somewhere in the middle is the right way, right?
Yeah.
And so I understand the agenda, but it doesn't bother me as much about like flowers and stuff, which the joke is, shout out to Couture by Cherie. She bought me flowers on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, now, no, flowers are cool. Okay, I don't want people to think that like.
Please clear that up for me.
Okay, here's the thing, right? I'm a horticulturalist. All right, I actually love to plant things and grow things.
Okay,
all right, including things that you can smoke.
Okay,
we're not here in North Carolina, in case anybody's watching.
Nope, I do it here.
But it's like, so it's not the growing of things. Matter of fact, I think the top master class for horticulture is actually a class or master class by a brother. Of all people, right?
Okay.
So it's not about flowers, man, and that's what I hate about this argument is that when we talk about the narratives being created, it's so easy to just like, oh, well, I'm just gonna gaslight you into something else, right?
I love that word.
I do not have a problem with men. Well, let's use it the right way, right? Because I'm talking about this ideal of men being gardeners in a war, right? I'm not talking about men being gardeners in a garden. And that's the problem, right? So when I say like, yo, I got a problem with this soft life and all these things, well, we're not really addressing things that affect black men. I was on the phone with our brother, B, earlier, right? And I told him, I was like, one of the things that it always comes across is that like, oh, you're anti-woman because I'm taking the full credit and applying it where it belongs. I said, back in like 2013, when I was like, so we had just finished with like a black president, right?
Yep.
Second election. So I was like, so we had that going for us. The CDC had created a report in 2013. I'm never going to forget this because I was traumatized. CDC created a report where they were just like, yo, black dads are the best dads out of all dads, right? Because I had always felt that way. Mind you, I was not a dad at the time, but I was just like, yo, from what I see,
Facts.
It doesn't feel like black men are as terrible as fathers as they making it out to be.
Especially on the internet.
You know, and we had saw reports, man. I mean, you see it on national news, talk shows, everywhere you go. So when the CDC created this report, I was excited because I was like, oh, shit, we got a black president. Black men are the best fathers. I'm like, this is going to be everywhere.
Facts.
And it wasn't. It was nowhere.
No, they gave us the internet.
It was nowhere. And at that point, like I'm in my 30s, and at that point, I realized like, oh damn, they intend for you to be on the bottom forever. They like, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. Like they're stunned when you do well, but they're never going to help you do well.
Facts.
And from that point forward, so if anybody want to be like, okay, Mike, what was the defining moment to where as you turn? It was like, yo, I had to change the narrative right then and there. And right then and there, I realized we was in a toxic environment.
Facts.
So this is where we are. Like, so fast forward to where we are today. That's my villain origin story. But for anybody that want to know.
How did Mike become the man he is today?
Yeah. So fast forward to where we are today. When I do see an agenda, I'm on the outside of it. Like I see it coming.
Facts.
You know, so
yeah. So I see the cover and I see the flowers and I'm like, yo, Mike about to put this shit in the group chat. Here we go.
And I left it alone.
And it was silence.
Yeah, I didn't.
Matter of fact, so much silence that I forgot it happened until I got on Facebook, right? And so I'm like, all right, because I didn't, like, look, every Valentine's Day around, like, after the second week of January, bruh, and as a photographer to the second week of February, you get people who want to do flower type shoots. And most of the time it's men. And it's not because it's just dope. It's a cool prop to have, right? It's not because I'm trying to be soft or trying not to look as masculine. It's really just because, like, yo, it's a dope prop and they need something to post, right? So I'm not even going there. So it goes away. Then the second cover comes, or the actual cover comes out, not the spread. And it's my man on the couch, sitting on the top of the couch, with jeans that run straight into boots. Call it what you want.
Stilettos.
Basically. No shirt on, and a furry, like a teddy bear jacket. If
you look like a bad bitch.
Here we go. Now, Mike says that. I would disagree if his lips wasn't pursed. But, so, I'm sorry, bro. Like, hey, we got to start. This is men talking. I'm going to call it as I is, and I don't have a problem, and I'm going to get to the photography part of it. Bro, it was suspect. I'm gonna just call it as it is.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't have a problem with whatever you want to do, however you want to be perceived. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, as black men in this country, what we do when we become prominent black men, it goes for all black men, right? Fact. So if you hold a position of a bad bitch in February, right, and that's coming on the heels of Soft Life Black Man, right, and that's coming on the heels of Black Men Can Take Flowers, right, like. This is a group of individuals that know each other that said this is what we're going to do, right? It's not a conspiracy. It's actually fucking happening, right?
Facts.
So it's not a conspiracy.
And, bro, you know what bothered me the most? Two things bothered me. The first thing that bothered me was now they're trying to spin the story and say, oh, he's paying ode to an anime character because he's Michael B. Jordan. The internet is great. We just see somebody makes up shit on Facebook. And black folks just run with it, right?
Yes.
So, like, now they saying that Michael B. Jordan loves anime. This guy, since he's his adversary in the movie, he picked a character that Michael B. Jordan loves. I'm like, man, get that mess out of here. The second thing is, I am here to let everybody know, as a photographer that has worked with brands before, this brother did not select those pictures. Ebony and the people who Ebony worked for, who have the agenda they need to fulfill, selected all those
they
pictures
picked all that prior.
And so, bruh probably took a picture. They might have been like, all right, pose like this, do this. Because if you dissect different parts of it, it ain't all bad.
Dude, here's the thing. If you take, like, how many, in a photo session, if you have a photo session that's 2 hours long and you was taking pictures for 2 hours, how many photos would you take within those 2 hours?
Bruh, they probably took maybe, if it was me, probably somewhere around like 200 or 300.
200 or 300 photos,
Absolutely.
Right? All right, so you could find, like, if anybody took 300 photographs of you in a 1 hour window, you're going to be doing something suspect in that photograph.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it's a still, right?
Absolutely.
So you could be scratching, you could be reaching for something,
you could be blowing your nose.
You could be about to do something and they take the picture. So my problem is I don't have a problem with our brother, right? What I have a problem with is that we pretend that it's not an agenda, right? Look, I do not care that ASAP Rocky and Rihanna photo like that. I don't care about them being together and them being on the cover of Vogue. The problem that I have is that I know Vogue took 500 fucking pictures.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
And she a billionaire, but they took a shit ton.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then that's the photograph that they want to present.
Here's the thing. I think Vogue was surprised that ASAP Rocky showed up to a photo shoot.
I doubt that. ASAP look like he's everywhere with Rihanna, bro.
They probably was like, I believe Rihanna said, no, he in the photo. And they was like,
I believe that. I believe that. I definitely believe that they thought they were just going to have Rihanna and her baby. And I think Rihanna was like, no, you're going to put him in. You're going to put my man in the photographs.
I'm not even mad at it because this was a Rihanna spread. It's Super Bowl weekend.
Yeah.
This is coming out. It's about her and the baby. Now,
NFL's trying to make inroads into UK when it comes to football. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, so that's why it's British Vogue.
And then when we get done, I'm gonna explain what I had a problem with that one is. But so when I see this, well, let me get to it. Let me tell you what bothered me about this. Black folks, men and women, we are arguing about this, and nobody don't want to spread the message that she put in there that I've seen you post.
Yeah.
That you post in groups of her talking about how she feels like, yo, my son is in love with my man.
My son is in love with his dad, right?
How I get jealous, but I love it.
Yep.
How this man is fully into being a father.
Yep.
And I would never want to take that away. Like nobody want to talk about that. But it was like we had to fuss about. And here's the thing. This is why I'm here today. Not the Rihanna thing, but let me go back to the Ebony thing. Yo, when it's black men discussing black men, it's funny how we never tell women, yo, this man's business. Let's hop out. Let us handle this. Now, I got told last night because I was on a gossip thing about how, you stay out of women's business because, you know, a girl stole another girl's husband, her friend's husband, right? And it was like, stay out of women's business. And I told that young lady, I said, yo, when it comes to men, us discussing men and what's masculine and what's not, you know, toxic masculinity wouldn't be a debate if it's true or not, if only men was discussing.
No, absolutely
Because then
not.
we can actually define it as men of like, yo, what is masculine? But the problem is we let everybody in. Here come the jokes. This is how we lost the barbershop, the cigar, the pulpit. I done lost it all, right? So that's the problem. And so I looked at the Rihanna thing and I didn't have an issue with it because, yo, one of us is a billionaire.
Yeah.
And
I have zero problems with, so here's the thing. I have zero problems with the Rihanna and the A$AP Rocky cover, right?
Okay.
But the moment I saw the cover, I knew that photograph was intentionally selected.
Absolutely.
So that's what I had a problem with, right?
Absolutely.
Because you cannot tell me that just if you read the article, you know, and which I'm sure none of y'all did, right?
Facts.
But if you actually read the article, like I
Facts.
did, and you read how she talks about, you know, A$AP and his son, I know that there's photographs of A$AP, his son, and Rihanna together, to whereas he doesn't have his shoulder slouch. He doesn't have I forget what they call it when you put one person in the photograph, forced perspective, right?
Yeah.
You have a forced perspective of Rihanna in the photograph, and that's done intentionally. So if I'm a country boy, right? Mm-hmm. But if you're ever online, if you ever see somebody take a picture of a snake, what you'll see, or a fish, what you'll see is that they hold it up to the camera, right? Mm-hmm. And it makes it look way bigger because if you're behind them, it makes you look way smaller, right? So so your brain is processing that as in, well, if you're that small and the fish is that big, the fish must be this size, or the snake must be this size. It's just an illusion trick. It's a camera trick.
Absolutely.
So when I see forced perspective, you know, which you can speak to it more because you're a photographer, but when I see that on a magazine's, you know, cover, I know it's intentional.
Yeah. The intention is she's leading him.
She's leading. The intention is to make her bigger and to make him smaller.
Facts.
Now, if there is no prejudice, if there is no racism, if black men actually have a fair shot in this country, then that's not an issue, right? Mm-hmm. That's just, honestly, we just say it's bad photography. Yeah. Because that's what we call when people take bad pictures with their fish. That's what we call it when people take bad, you know, pictures of, you know, if they, you know, murder a snake in the woods and they take a picture, right? We say, oh, that's forced perspective, right? We call it a bad photograph, right? We would actually call that photograph in real life a bad picture.
Facts.
But in a society where black men are constantly denigrated, we don't call it that. We say y'all are insecure.
Facts. And you know what's funny is Mike used to take pictures. When I was introduced to Mike, it was like, oh, he's a photographer too. So I got all excited, right? And then so
I still take pictures. I like nature photography though.
I wanted to send something to Mike one time, and I think I told Ez, and Ez was like, bro, Mike don't take photography like that. And I was like, what you mean? I was so mad because I wanted to show Mike something. I thought it was so cool because this is before me and you had like a relationship, right? So I'm all excited. And Ez was like, don't do that. Don't even waste his time. Now, here's the thing about Rihanna. And I would ask, and you know what? We love Rihanna. We talked about Rihanna before.
I think
she was doing
Rihanna was like my dream girl before she done got pregnant 2 times. Like, now she gone.
Yeah, now she gone. And in the article, she want multiple kids with this man. And she want to get married.
She want to get married. Big up to them for that.
Shout out to that. And the difference between...
Kind of jealous, A$AP. I ain't gonna lie.
Bruh.
Maybe envy is the right word.
That is... A$AP do not supposed to have 2 babies with Rihanna, possibly getting married. Like, if you know his life, what he been through, where he been, you know, that ain't supposed to happen. Now, the interesting thing is, I would love to know if they showed Rihanna her cover before it was published, And if anything, I know for sure that her team saw it. But I wonder if it's one of those things like, oh, it's cool, that's fine. Because I'm telling you right now, homeboy at Ebony, he didn't get to pick that cover. He didn't even see it. He saw that shit when we saw it, right? That's just a fact. And it's one of them things like, hey, bro, we need you to go do some promo for Creed, for Ant-Man. You know, Disney got behind it. They called Ebony, was like, yo, this is the person. Boom, 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 it's done. Rihanna, that's a lot. We talking about a billionaire here. I wonder if she saw it. Now, and I wonder, I could see ASAP. At a certain time, I could probably see ASAP saying like, yo, that's fine. But I do believe Vogue purposely chose that picture for multiple reasons. Because when you get 400 pictures, you're going to knock them down to 50.
Yeah.
And then people sit around in a room and say, what's the cover?
Well,
and they chose that one. So, and it was, and look, when you do stuff for big brands like this, yo, and I've never shot nothing as big as Vogue. That's how I know they definitely do stuff like this, because the smaller brands I work with does it. It's purpose behind every image that goes into that magazine, yo.
That was my point. That's my biggest point.
Fact.
Is that it is an agenda right now. We don't have to have offense to the level that I've seen some men take offense.
Oh yeah,
to,
they
right?
hurt on Facebook.
I'm not hurt, right? You know what I'm saying? But I do recognize an agenda, right? It's like I also do not have to pretend that I don't see it. And I think that becomes the frustration of like the more educated black man, right? When I say educated, I'm not even just talking about college. I'm talking about men who are read, men who are traveled, men who are versed. Mm-hmm. You kind of understand like what's coming and what's seen, right?
Yeah. We
literally talked about this a month ago, right? This shit is new. Like it might have been longer than that.
It might have been, bro.
You know, we saw it coming.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. So, so when I see it in real time, I don't have to talk about it. I already see it coming. I'm already looking for the next thing. Sadly, that was what the Warriors do, right? Like the Warriors don't think about the battle that they've already fought. The Warriors think about the next battle. The fighters that are actually engaged in the war have to worry about where they at right now. But the Warriors already moved on to the next one.
And the sad part is, bruh, they do it. They using the same dudes. Like I am surprised, homeboy, Jonathan, Majors was selected, but not really as I'm seeing like, oh, he's going to be the next Thanos, so to speak.
It would be hard not to do a cover, right? And it would also be hard to think that a cover is going to be used in the manner that it's used in, right? Mm-hmm. Like you're not really thinking that. Like if someone said, I'll be leery of ever doing a cover when Black Dads Club blows up. But let's say it does blow up and we're on the cover of Fortune, right? Mm-hmm. And Fortune did this, right? Like I'd never think like they do this, right? But let's say you own the cover and they do this to you, right? Yeah. Like they have you in a photograph where you were sneezing and your lips are puckered, like you taking a kiss, right?
Yeah.
And it's framed in a manner where you look sus as hell, right?
Yeah.
You'd be like, damn, I didn't expect that.
Yeah. And one thing I am proud. This is showing growth because we about to get to something a little bit. It's like we see it. It's easy to recognize it, state it, and keep it moving. A lot of folks, especially men, I see y'all arguing with women on Facebook, going back and forth. And for me, I look at it and I'm like, bro, why are you even arguing this? Like, it is what it is. It is the system. Change the system. You know what I'm saying? Because next time, if Jonathan Majors gets big enough, when he does get big enough, you know what I'm saying? What ends up happening is, bro,
he's next up. And not only is he next up, I think they're about to try to run him head and head with Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, absolutely. It's about to be Michael B. Jordan, this guy, and we got to see if the Snowfall dude, Lori Harvey's new boyfriend out of the three.
I don't think he's gonna make it. I don't think he's strong enough as an actor.
Hopefully, bro, you got another job lined up, or Lori will be moving on to Jonathan. And that's how it goes. Now, all right, let's talk about Deion Sanders, man. You talked about.
Did you get the clip? Oh, I can find it. Go ahead. No, we can talk about it. I can find it though.
Deion Sanders, and if Mike ever wants to expose me, I kind of agree with the logic. Deion Sanders, let me play like this.
You can't say it on TV.
They don't know what I'm talking about.
You can't say it on TV.
The funny part about life is you get the opportunity to do a podcast. We do a podcast once a week, and me and Mike ain't always perfect when we get on here.
Not nearly close.
Sometimes, and I was going through our old episodes, right? Because I'm trying to clean up and name them correctly. Yo, by the way, going through our old podcast, looking at what Mike was titling the podcast as, hilarious. Bruh, one title you had, it had to be like 3 sentences. I'm like, who is ever going to read this title, I said, this is all Mike. Mike put in one title, start at 4 minutes, please. Nothing else in the title. But I'm going back, and this is from 2019, right? So that's how far back. One was like, yo, start at 19, sorry. I was like, oh my gosh, Mike is fire on title and shit. But, you know, hey, you come on this podcast, absolutely, it's growth, right? You say something, you come back the next week, and you be like, yo, I'm sorry, that was incorrect. Or you know what, that sounded kind of weird. Or you know what, we got that right, let's reiterate that. So I say that to say sometimes you get on the podcast and you say shit that you can't say. Insert Deion Sanders, who during Super Bowl weekend, and one day, we're going to, maybe today, maybe next week, we're going to recap the Super Bowl, and we're going to talk about how Michael Irvin getting drugged for something that people don't really know what happened.
That story kind of went away, too.
It has went away, and now that his lawyers is asking Marriott to provide videos, it's definitely about to go away.
They now they don't have anything to say.
Because I told Mike immediately when the story came out, oh, the Renaissance Hotel is a very nice hotel. They have they got cameras everywhere. And they make sure that the employees don't necessarily know where all the cameras is. Yeah,
I hope he gets paid. I really assuming that he is innocent, I hope he, gets paid. And when I say assuming, that doesn't we have such a bad habit in this country that we automatically assume that we think the people are guilty. When I say assuming, I'm saying that I believe in the ideal of innocence until proven guilty. So assuming that this man is innocent, I hope he gets paid, man.
Heck yeah.
We're looking at now quarterbacks are different.
Yeah.
We want mother, father, dual parent.
Mm-hmm.
We want that kid to be 3, 5 and up because he's got to be smart.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad decisions off the field at all
Mm-hmm.
because he has to be a leader of men. It's so many different attributes and what we look for when we see a quarterback. And you would love a coach's son. Somewhere that the coaches coached him, and I'm not going down like O-lineman. I look for dual parent homes,
right?
A strong father that they adhered to,
right?
Smart kid, at least 3.3 and above.
You're also describing Hurts.
Yeah, tough.
Well. I mean,
physical. I mean, offensive lineman. Defensive lineman is totally opposite.
What do you mean?
Single mama, trying to get it. He's on free lunch. I mean, I'm talking about just trying to make it. He trying to rescue mama.
All right, we're gonna end it there. So first thing I would say is, can't say that on national TV.
Absolutely not.
And you absolutely cannot say that if you're on a show that's not a black guy's show.
Ooh, I didn't even think of it that way.
Because you had people in the background that was laughing that really had no business laughing.
Ooh.
So that's where he lost me.
Oh,
right?
You're trying to pod today.
Yeah, that's where he lost me, man. And this is supposed to be a short, so we're gonna get out of here soon.
Absolutely.
But that's where he lost me. Like this is the problem that I have, right? And we're gonna see it this year, right? Mm-hmm. I might be early again, folks. Now I could be wrong. Most of the time I'm not. The way that he showed up to Jackson State post-game interviews, the way he dressed, the way he spoke, I want to see how that's going to work in Colorado.
Oh, come on, man.
I want to see if he's going to show up in the hoodies and the beards and using the slang.
You think he about to pull a Barack? Remember when Barack used to see the white congressman?
That is what I am saying. That is what I'm saying. And there's and I don't have a problem with that.
Absolutely. Black people are the greatest code switchers of all time.
But what I do have a problem with is when you do it for someone else that's not looking like you. That starts to put you in the minstrel, category. And I'm not saying that's what Deion is right now.
Yeah, I understand.
But I'm saying, like, if that highway's to the left and it's 5 miles down the road, Deion just took a left. That's all I'm saying.
My issue is like, I hate when, to further your point, I'm not making a new point. I'm agreeing with you 100%. I hate the code switching when you're doing it to embarrass us.
Yes.
Because like Mike said early in the pod, it's only black men that get to speak for all black men. That one black one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When we're correct, we're all Kodak Black, right? When they want us to, we're all Kendrick Lamar. When they want us to, they want us to all to think we could be Jay-Z. But at the minute that we don't listen, then you can all be
Yeah.
Well, insert black man that's been killed by the police today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that absolutely. So you going on a white show, you got white people laughing behind you, they snickering, and you're saying, yo, the aggressive people, the aggressive football players I need a single mom, free lunch, struggling.
Yeah. And here's the thing. We know like guys who become really, really good at sports that come from very poor economic backgrounds, it is because they're starving, right? It is because they're hungry, right?
Especially football players.
Yeah, football players, boxers, any of these sports where you're taking, a lot of pain, right? So I see what he's saying, but the thing is, you can't go on that show and say it, right? There are shows where you could discuss this in a serious manner, but when you discuss it in a flippant manner, you're wrong.
Absolutely,
you're wrong, and it's like a lot. It goes back to a lot of times it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Facts.
And in this situation, he's wrong.
Here we go. Before we get out of here, I want to say something because we're gonna do one little segment last. Y'all won't get me again, Eugene. Baraka, Jeremiah, y'all won't get me again. And Mike, I'm used to. Y'all will not let me look crazy on another pod.
Hey, man.
Today I actually, been working slammed, and I was actually able to edit the podcast today. So I'm watching it. I'm like, oh, they got me. They got me looking crazy, angry black man behind the camera. You know what I'm saying? Laws got me too because in the middle of the podcast, Laws set up his camera to put me on camera. So now I'm watching myself.
Laws heard how crazy he was, but just like, let me make sure I get some footage of this.
So as soon as I leave the pod, I go home. My mother-in-law is there because it's closer to the Super Bowl. She said, yeah, I listened to the pod. I heard you say something about sucking dick. And I go, yo, what the hell? I go, Mom, that's all you heard? She said, yeah, y'all was arguing. And she goes, she had let me know that only the audio that picked up, even though it was all right, but it was only the laptop. Right? So the laptop was closest to me. So she was like, I clearly heard everything you were saying. And I'm like, yo, what the hell, man? And then so she was like, yeah, I just figured this wasn't a pod for me after that. And then so I was like, yo, here we go. Y'all tried to get me upset on Mama's Boys. Baraka tried to get me on the Lil Wayne. Y'all will not get me again. From here on out, based off the topics, I will ask Mike, do he want me to be funny that day?
Oh, man.
Or chill?
Hey, man, always be funny, man. You're the funny one here.
Mike is not getting me in trouble. Speaking of funnies, shout out to my homegirl, Sierra, Modern Aesthetics. Hold on, let me give her some hand claps. Saturday morning, I'm driving. I'm going to do a photo shoot. Sierra hits my jack, and she leaves me a voicemail that says, yo, first thing on the pod, your list has made it. You are out there. For those who do not know, my Women Hate Women list got shared on Joe Budden's podcast.
It did get shared on Joe Budden's podcast.
I've only been telling y'all that women don't like women for, I don't know, 3-4 years.
We be making a lot of people pods, man. I wish y'all would shout us out so we could grow.
Mike just threw shots at somebody. I'm going to let it go. I was going to throw the gunshots in there, but Mike, But yeah, absolutely. And it was funny because everybody knows I listen to Joe Budden podcast. I love his podcast.
He's the pod father, man.
He is the pod
father.
father.
Real talk, if you think about the top 5 pod fathers, wouldn't it be Joe Budden,
Joe Rogan,
Nori? Yeah.
And then after that's a free fall, you got Gilly and Wallow.
They're not in the pod father category.
They're not there yet. But first of all, let me put it like this. Nobody beating Joe Rogan. Just what he does, what he's able to do. Is just
for 4 hours. That's crazy.
For 4 hours. And so he's up there in the league of his
drinking
own.
and smoking. That's insane.
It's ridiculous, right? So then after him, at least for our culture, you do have like the Nori, the Joe Budden. Charlamagne's been in that space for a while.
Not a pod father.
He's not a pod father. No, it's really just Joe and Nori.
It really is.
And it's them. And then once you look at pods overall, then, it's really Joe Budden's the only one that can speak for us. Joe Rogan is there in the space. The Call Me Daddy girls is out there. You got to start looking at, what's my man who used to do ESPN 30 for 30s? Bill Simmons.
Oh, my gosh. So we had 4. Those are the 4 pod fathers right there.
So it's
Joe Rogan, Bill Simmons, Joe Budden, and Nori.
Yeah.
Those are the pod fathers, man.
Yeah. And so if you listen to their pods, you see how they change culture. Let me put it like that, right? So when I'm hearing this with Joe Budden, I'm laughing because, the funny part is my list is forever my list. And we're going to go through my list.
We'll go through Gavin's list that is old.
That is old. Now, mind y'all, I don't know when I started this list, but shout out to Daryl Dash because he hit me up and said, bruh, you keep posting that women don't like women with an example. You need to add it to the notes in your phone. Now, I can't tell y'all why Daryl told me that you women won't make men hate men list. And I'm going to get matter of fact, I want to address that first. Joe said something funny he said, I want to make a list on how men don't like men. I am here to say this. Do men hate men? I don't believe so.
No, man. Okay, so funny you say that.
Okay.
I was actually reading a journal article from 2004 that states that the way that men interact with each other is hierarchical. And y'all have heard me say this, which is how I ended up finding this. But it was like the way that women interact with women is egalitarian, right? So we actually think differently. So men would never make a men hate men list because men kind of know where they are in the pecking order.
Absolutely.
Automatically.
Well, here's my thing. I believe men hate on men. I believe women hate on women. I believe women hate on men.
Haters
men hate
exist.
On men. Haters is just there. The difference between men and women is this. Men do not parade around online that we are all unified, all in love. It's men against women. You know what I'm saying? We don't parade that we just besties.
But men are, that's the point right there.
The reason why my list is this is because I live in a world where I work mainly with women.
Yeah.
I'm around women a lot. I love women. Clearly, they keep me in business. How, a couple of y'all hit me up was like, how? But you know what I'm saying? Because they love me. All my clients love me. I've never had, the funny part is I have not had a client hit me up about my list and say it bothers them. All my clients hit me up and give me more shit to add to it. That's the funnier part, right? And I look at it and I go, women parade around that they are all kumbaya, we all in love, and then they do shit to remind me that they really don't like each other. Starting with Eve and Apple. Now, I'm not going to go through all of these because some of these are going to be self-explanatory, but I did have someone on Reddit ask me, why Eve and Apple? Me and Mike grew up in the church. Now, I'm not saying what Mike heard in his church, even though we're part of the same organization, was the same, because I would mention Killian, but I'm going to leave him alone.
Yeah.
I'm going to bleep that. But the point is this. Sometimes in church, we love to give out that, because of Eve, women have body issues such as periods and other shit, and this woman distracted Adam and all this shit. And the funny part for me is women just let that shit go in the church and let that be passed down to other women. Now, y'all got to understand, not all the stuff in my list is funny. Some of it's serious, but that's a funny one. So even at Apple, boss bitches, brunches, absolutely. That's self-explanatory. Y'all bring each other there so y'all can stand on the podium.
Repeated by Joe Rogan.
Budden. I wish it was
Joe
Rogan.
Budden. If
you post it and don't tag me, I got to sue you, bro. You got the money. But boss bitches, brunches is funny because it's women sitting on the stage pointing down to you women, telling y'all to do better, basically. And we'll get there. Girl trips. I never seen girls go on the girls trips and remain friends. Tripping in the strip club. Ask Joe Budden about that. He'll let you know. Weak tips. Let me tell you something. Ask any server who they prefer to get tipped by. Ask any woman server who you prefer to get tipped by.
Not gonna say it.
They will not tell you the woman at the table.
Not gonna say it.
Hairstylist and no 4C hair. If you don't know what 4C hair is, Google it.
I have no idea what that is.
It's what girls like to label as nappy as hair.
Ooh.
It's real just dry and thick hair, right?
That's messed up.
Well, it's certain women. Imagine this, bro. Imagine saying, I don't want to work with women I don't want to serve women that have this type of hair. And it only applies to a certain subset of black women. Yeah. What you think will happen to you?
Oh, I get canceled.
But women can do it to each other, and it's seemingly okay. Sleeping with celebrity husbands, y'all be knowing these dudes be married. Y'all don't care.
They don't care.
So you don't care about the women. Kaya, she come for all of y'all. Jocelyn and Double Homicide, when the girl on the show said, I had an abortion, I had twins, and the girl said, damn, Double Homicide.
Oh, and nobody said anything?
No, that shit was funny.
No wonder Joe Budden didn't mention that one.
Exactly. But he laughed at it.
He definitely laughed.
Because I heard about it on his show. And I was like, I got to add this to my list. Bridesmaid wedding gifts. Y'all suck at that.
Yeah, they do.
All right. This is going to be the last one I dive into deeply. Feminism.
Yeah.
We got a pod on that. If you don't know how feminism or feminists don't really care about women, especially women of color, then that's on you.
I literally called them barfs. Black, asinine, radical feminists.
bitch ass.
Black asinine radical feminist.
Look, there's a reason. I always ask black women why they have to label themselves as black feminists, and I ask them
because the white feminists don't like them.
Exactly, and that defeats feminism. So
really
feminists, WNBA support. We got a whole pod on that. Please go back and listen. When Kim K told y'all to work harder.
Oh man, rip Kim K ass. But when Kim K dumped on Kanye, they were right back.
They was right back. And honestly, did Kim say anything wrong, bro? She told y'all to work hard.
I don't think Kim said anything wrong.
She didn't. Tristan Thompson. I ain't gotta go there. This look, y'all keep playing Chloe face, which ain't fair. Queen Elizabeth and Meghan. Enough said.
Yeah.
Look,
they can't just
every time Beyonce drop, it's an artist that come out and let us know that Beyonce ain't shit and her career is over.
Who did it this time?
Nas' ex-wife, Khalees.
Khalees?
Yeah, Khalees got gone this time.
Good Lord.
The album before that, I remember Carrie Hilson, she got canceled before because she did it. It's somebody every time, bro. Nicki versus Cardi, we already there. Low vibration plates. This is one that Joe didn't know about. Nene, the photographer. Nene leaks from Basketball Wives or Real Housewives of Atlanta, She hired a photographer to take pictures of her, so this is dear to my heart. And the photographer was a woman, and Nene didn't pay her. So the woman had to sue her.
What the hell?
Exactly, but you know how that go. All churches' first ladies. Now, this is hilarious because Mike's mom is a first lady. My grandmother is a first lady. And I'm not going to put it on Mike's mom.
My grandma was the first lady.
Look.
We come from a lineage of preachers, man.
Look, let me tell y'all something Mike noticed to be true. First ladies are tough on women. Especially, they let their sons know, yo, baby, stay away from her. She fast. Don't look at her. And they, it is what it is. If you grew up in a church, especially a Pentecostal church, you already know what time it is.
Oh, my God. Is this trauma?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I definitely like one of them girls at church, and my grandma basically told me she was a hoe.
Hey, man, we love
But you know what's so sad? When are they ever wrong?
Hoes are fun, man.
No, when...
you talking about the first lady. Yeah, they're never wrong. Sorry. I mean, hoes are fun. I don't understand it. You would never get me to hate on hoes. Like, you never get me to... and I'm not talking about women, so please do not think I am using the word hoes instead of women.
Because that'd be misogynistic.
Yeah, I'm literally talking about hoes.
Hoes, yeah, they are fun.
Hoes are fun,
and
man.
Look, you need one of them in your group as like your...
My son's going to rewatch this later in the future. I'm not saying what you think I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Come and talk to me.
Absolutely. Or go back and watch when I said you can't marry one.
Yeah, can't marry one.
All right, locations. Ladies. I've said this on this pod. A lot of this shit has been on this pod before. I've said this on this pod. Y'all need to stay out of Miami, Houston, New Orleans, Cabo. Please stay out of those locations. Every time y'all go to one of those locations,
damn, you're on it. Yeah, that whole vacation is.
Bruh, they go to Miami, and one of the things is, let me tell you the joke, and I meant to send it to you. One of the girls who called me misogynistic, her and her girls just got back from Miami.
They fell out.
Horrible trip. She been bitching for 2 weeks.
I don't know how y'all screw up Miami.
Well, because...
But yeah, Cabo, obviously.
You want me to tell you how they screw up location? I'm going to make it quick. Women go on trips, and they try to make the trip as cheap as possible because I think men subsidize living so much that when girls go on girls trips, they don't stay in the nicest hotel because usually time they inviting their homegirl who broke. They got one or two homegirls.
We'd have to go way too deep into a dive.
Absolutely.
You're right, though.
So what happens is they go to Miami, they go to New Orleans, and they stay at one of the shitty hotels.
At the Best Western 5 miles away.
Absolutely. Or, you know what I'm saying, they stay.
And then everybody can't stay at the suite at the W.
Absolutely. And because there's only one girl on that trip who got money, right? And she getting tired of fun, whatever. These girls.
And this is when she realized that her friends can't pull what she pulled.
Absolutely.
And it just ruins her trip.
So stop going to Miami, New Orleans, Houston, and Cabo with your girl who work at the call center. Let her ass go to Myrtle Beach.
You could go if she's stunning.
Yeah. And she'll get y'all in the section.
Yeah.
But you know how they
stunning,
go.
But if she ain't stunning. Yeah.
The HBCU shoe bootlegger. I know y'all don't know about it, but Nike just got a group of women to design HBCU shoes. There was a bootlegger. She got one of my cousins. You know what I'm saying? She was selling fake shoes. Already. She was selling them the week they was coming out. Yo, man, she got Rihanna, bro. You met Rihanna. Brianna a doctor, man. And I told Brianna, I said, you got the money. You could buy them resale. But Brianna was like, I ain't paying for that shit. Yeah. But she don't cuss, but you know. Bridesmaids backstabbing. One bridesmaid, this is from an actual story. A bridesmaid, her homegirl got engaged, and the bridesmaid planned her wedding the day before her homegirl got married because she didn't like the girl.
What the?
That's what happened. TCU basketball brawl. Please go look it up. It's from last season. It was amazing. It was a brawl. Meg versus Kelsey. Y'all already know what happened there. A 2-hour wash and go with no wash. That is actually on a girl posted. You stylists, y'all are wild. Trans women when they came for Aretha Franklin. Did you see that?
I didn't. Probably for good reason.
Probably for good reason. And look, 2 things. They said Aretha Franklin's song Natural Woman is against them.
I know what you're talking about.
2 things. I promise I will not expose, because it was only women. I would not expose none of you ladies for what y'all said about trans women in my DMs when I posted that. A lot of y'all, especially a lot of y'all that have flags in y'all profiles, had something to say about that.
I have no comment because I don't care.
And because it's a certain things that you said we're not allowed to talk about.
Yeah. Be who you want to be. Be who you want to be with.
And I can't say bitches no more, which is disrespectful. That's fucked up. I like that word. Natural bodies for broke women. A girl posted that on Twitter.
That's something I saw. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you was about to agree with it.
No, I love natural bodies. Like, all right, so no. I'm gonna tell you why I love natural bodies.
No, I'm not against it.
I think that I know I've seen women that have gotten plastic surgery and it looks really, really good. I mean, hell, like a lot. Well, shit.
A lot of.
If you go to Miami, a lot of women look way better after plastic surgery. But what I've also noticed is that a lot of them do. But what I've noticed is that it never stops, and I think that becomes the problem.
Well, that's because
they get addicted to it.
You talking about the chicks that go to Columbia? They get it cheaper and they get like everything done.
Yeah,
and they keep going back because it is cheaper. I've
never seen anybody just get plastic surgery and just be like, I'm gonna just stop there. Like it's a constant process, and at some point, it just doesn't look good. So, because at some point, I do need my oldie wife to look like an old wife.
Absolutely.
Like at some point, yeah. I love you, woman.
I took headshots this past weekend, and it was a nice looking white woman. She was old, and she was in her 60s. She was older, excuse me.
Yeah.
And she was telling me how much she loves her gray hair.
Yeah.
And the woman beside her, who was I think like 15 years younger, she said, "Dog, I should stop dyeing my hair." And I know that's so small, but to hear somebody say, "Hey, I love that I look older,"
yeah,
it was great. It was dope.
So yeah, I do want a woman that aged gracefully.
I do like fake titties. That's just.
I don't mind fake titties.
Nah, me especially.
I mind fake asses.
Yeah,
go get the ass in the gym.
Yeah,
I've seen women get booties in the gym, bro. I've seen women.
Absolutely,
get booties in the gym.
I know. Shout out to Jess. Jess, I ain't gonna give out your Instagram. You already too hot. You are your Instagram, and plus you got a man now, so I don't want to do that.
Oh yeah, we gotta leave that alone.
But she posts before and afters.
I love the natural booty.
A groom moms wear an identical wedding dress. Now, bruh, I'm actually not mad at your mom. I'm mad at you.
Yeah, that's on you, bro.
Because if you don't know, y'all won't make it past the 90-day mark.
You know,
because that's trifling, dog.
But see, what's funny though? So the women raise these boys that does these things, and then we look at it, we be like, it's the man's fault. It's just like, yo, who raised them, man?
Absolutely. We almost done. Galentine's Day.
I didn't really see a lot of that this year
because they got clown for it last year. They realize, bro, it's always this, like, bro, I'm not against single chicks saying, yo, let's all get together and hang out, whatever. But y'all trying to do it as like, we don't need no man. And then Sierra, I got to ask Sierra on here for that song she tried to pull off. All, the single ladies, we don't need no man. We independent. Y'all rip Sierra. I was actually proud of women for ripping Sierra.
Sierra needed to be ripped for that, man. How you in another man's house talking about? First off, I hate that we got to go here.
Yeah.
Has Sierra ever been a single woman?
No.
Like, she introduced Lil Future to Russ. He was like 8 months old. Like, the woman has never been single a day of her life, bro.
It was Bow Wow. You pop back up with Future.
It's hilarious.
Then as soon as you cried over Future, Russell
as soon as the baby was born and they broke up, man, Russ was right there. Like, this it's so funny that she gets this reputation as being like Saint Sierra of, the maidendom of single motherhood. Mm-hmm. And she's never been a single mother.
I love when women was on her page like, yo, we was singing, we was trying to do your prayer, and you telling us, you making songs for us to remain single. Like, hell nah.
Yeah.
Cheney of Pine Bear Photography, shaming clients. Now, I wanted to make sure I said her name, and we're going to talk about you on my photography podcast, but this is a photographer who was clowning clients who had hand scars and hand deformations. And it was like it was so disgusting just
Why
to
the
see.
hell would you do that?
And she was bruh, especially as another woman, and she was trending on TikTok, and she was sharing it. And then finally the girl was embarrassed and was hurt. And then all her friends came and, it started trending some more for all the wrong reasons. She deleted all her socials. Coming to you as a woman, don't even need to explain that. Judging women who don't breastfeed. I am a maternity and engagement photographer. It was sad because the day that all this happened, I was on the way to a photo shoot, and this woman said, "Did your wife breastfeed, and for how long?" And we went through that whole conversation, and she looked at me. She said, "I'm scared if I'm not going to be able to breastfeed, how many women gonna judge me? Because women have already started to judge me on my fear."
That's messed up.
And I looked at her and I said, I hear that so often from women, especially when they come back for their mommy and me, and they be like, "Yo, Black women already don't breastfeed as much as other women because they have to work.
Yeah.
They work more than other sets of women. And that is what it is. And it's sad, right? So to have other women coming around saying, "Oh, you don't breastfeed. You don't breastfeed enough. Why are you putting that baby on formula?" Not knowing that certain women just can't produce enough, can't produce at all. They run out. It's interesting. I know we like to think.
It doesn't seem easy from the times that I've viewed it. It doesn't seem easy at all. So,
Seems
big
like
up
a process.
Big ups to the moms that do, and big ups to the moms that tried and can't.
Absolutely.
I love y'all women, man. I don't know why anybody would come on this pod and think that we do not like women, especially with all the hell we give men of like, what it's going to take to actually be a good dad and a good father. Like,
absolutely. And last but not least, it's trending this week about the young lady who stole her best friend's husband. And,
oh yeah, I did see that.
And I posted it yesterday, and it's wild because the girls are going back and forth and DMing each other about like, one of the funny parts, and I don't believe this at all, but I'm gonna just say it because it's funny. The girl said, "Yo, you kept complaining about me to your man, and he started looking at me, and now I'm with your man, I'm with your husband." And I just thought it was all trifling. But yeah, that's my list. Shout out to Joe Budden. I do appreciate it.
Tag us, Joe. Tag us, man.
Shout out to the Reddit team. Everybody on Reddit been liking it. It's been hilarious. What you got planned this weekend?
I don't know. Nothing.
You don't know nothing.
I mean, I'm grinding, man. Like,
you got a date this weekend?
Nah, no dates, man.
You got to get on Hinge. I'm going to start showing you my sister-in-law's Hinge profile, these dudes, because you're going to be pissed.
Why would I be pissed, man?
Mike, all right, I'm going to show you one before we get out of here.
Dudes are whack, man.
Oh, yeah. But no, Mike.
Like,
Mike. Hold on, Mike. I got you, bro.
Like, here's the thing. If I wanted to set up a live date profile, I know exactly what to do to get the women that I want to get.
Okay, get them some help because they need it.
But okay, so here's the problem though, right? Like, you live in an environment where your resources got to be high. So if your resources not high, most men either don't have the game to get what you're trying to go after, or you're gonna get it and then you're gonna lose the woman and you're gonna be mad at yourself. So like men, it's as we started the pod, right? Men have to be realistic with themselves. Like if you guys want to set up an Instagram profile, a Bumble profile, Hinge profile, and you want to get women, it's really, really not that hard.
Well, it's this hard. Read this out loud for the people. This is a dude who posted this on his Hinge profile.
I recently discovered that most of you are emotionally unstable with hell of a lot of baggage. Furthermore, there's no accountability. And if someone asks simple questions, then you are being disrespectful. No, thank you. 35. He is 5'11", though.
This is his. Did it show you what he?
Everyday men showing us that they're setting us back.
That was me. I posted.
Oh, okay.
You see his picture?
What is his picture?
He's sitting on his knees in front of his floor-length mirror, bro.
Jesus.
So that's the dudes that's on the apps, dog.
All right, dudes. Let me tell you how to set your goddamn profiles up real quick, man. And you can clip this.
This is his second post. You know how you scroll, right?
The way to win me over. Firstly, don't have any kids. I will not be the bearer of your past deeds, multiple baby daddies. Secondly, I'm not going to be your pen pal. So if you're not dating with a purpose, move along. All right, look. Black incels is the thing. There ain't no way in hell this dude getting laid. Ain't no way in hell this man is ever getting laid. All right, but to the people that watch this, to listen to this pod, man, you want to set your profile, up. Okay, I tell you guys all the time, man. The only thing you got to do to date women is you have to be interested and you have to be interesting, right? All right. Never, ever, ever lead with the sex conversation. Ever. Like,
Ever.
don't just. She's gonna get to it, bro. Trust me. No one is hornier than women. And if you could just bear 28 days, that day is going to pop up, whether she wanted to or not. All right. Just chill out. Never lead with sex.
Because her body will want it.
Her body gonna want it, right?
Absolutely.
Just trust me on this shit, man. Never lead with sex, right? So be interested in the woman. And what I mean by being interested is like, yo, find out all the dumb little shit, man. If she's from a little small town in bumfuck North Carolina, oh, where was that? You know what I'm saying? How many people's in the school? Like, for real, like, ask all these questions because they're going to tell you so much about themselves that they're eventually going to come across something that you really are going to want to know about that you would have never learned about if you didn't ask these simple, introductory, nice-ass questions, right?
Facts.
All right. That's the first thing, right? Be interested in women. I can't believe I have to say this. Y'all rate profiles like that. I'm going to have to. All right. Second, they're supposed to be a short pod, man. Goodness.
Look, I know how to get Mike pissed off.
All right. The second thing is, like, your photographs in your profile pics, man. They should be action photographs, meaning like you should be walking or doing something or eating or drinking, high-fiving. They have to be action photos. Regular photographs look terrible online. They just
Facts.
do. They just look terrible.
Facts.
All right, so get an action photograph. All right. Now, if you want a woman to think you have money, but you don't want to post in your profile, I have money, or you don't have money, you want women to think you have money because that's going to get you swiped right. Because women think all of us are ugly, right?
Facts.
So if you, let's go there. If you think you're attractive and that's why women are swiping right on you, you're a dumbass. Women don't find any of us attractive.
And turn off that voice memo feature where you leave a voicemail because you're saying on your profile, I look so good that you got to hear my voice.
Dudes,
stop.
Women do not find men attractive. I am not bullshitting you. I am not fucking hating. They do not find men attractive, bro. Like, your looks is not what gets women. Like, your look can get some women. But what I'm saying is, by and large, 90% of women are going to look at you and be like, ew. All right.
Yeah, he all right.
He all right. Like so don't lead with your looks, right? But if you do want to get women, man, all right, if you have traveled, you have to throw up photographs in your profile picture of places you've been to. Now, you don't throw up a picture of the Eiffel fucking Tower. Throw up a picture of you standing in front of the Eiffel Tower.
Or your ex.
Right? Or your ex, right? Or you had to cut somebody off. But you have to make it to where you're making it so it's not obvious that you're in Chichen Itza. It's just that I just so happen to be in Chichen Itza, all right? If you do that, women will swipe right on your profile like fucking crazy.
Absolutely.
All right? But this other shit y'all doing, it's going to get you doxxed and fired from your fucking job.
Bruh,
cut it out.
You know what's so sad is? When she showed me that, we was at the bar, and it was two girls beside us, and one of the girls was on Hinge. She had just moved from, like, New Orleans or somewhere. And she was a black girl, and I looked, and she was like, yo, it's so bad on there. And I'm like, and I was telling him, I said, it's not that bad. And then my sister-in-law, shout out to Claudia, she was like, well, read this. And I said, ain't no way.
Yeah,
and I said,
it is.
And I told her, I said, I need to take a picture of this because there's going to be a podcast where Mike is going to be like, nah, I don't know what men are doing. And I'm be like, yo, this what they doing on the apps.
I be unaware how bad black incel is sometimes.
And I just found out what that word meant.
Oh, yeah, involuntarily celibate.
You know,
they say a third of men have not had sex in the last 12 months. Involuntarily.
Damn.
But think about this, though. You can't say shit like that and then expect to get laid.
Facts.
Bro, like, real talk, if you say nothing, you will get laid, bro. Like, literally, all you got to do is just meet 5 women and just wait 28 days. One of them is going to lay it up to you. I guarantee it, man.
They're going to put it by the rim.
They're going to throw it to the rim, man. You got to lob it in, bro. Like, it's coming.
Let me know what y'all think about the audio on this podcast. We have new mics. Shout out to the city of Charlotte for investing in our podcast.
No shirtless pics.
Oh, facts.
You look stupid with your dog. Real talk. I know some women gonna tell you that they like that. They hate it. I'm telling you now. They hate you with your dog. I don't care if it's a pit bull or if it's a Pomeranian. They fucking hate it.
And stop making your first pick be with you and your homeboys. She should not have to guess which one of you.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, your homeboy shouldn't be on your profile.
Should not be on your profile whatsoever.
Because how much hanging out is you doing?
Hey, man, and like don't look. No philosophical quotes.
Oh gosh.
All right. No Bible verses.
Oh gosh.
Do not quote Kevin Samuels or Andrew Tate.
Red flag, red flag.
Guys, if the only thing you need to put in your profile, like, look, seriously, do the photographs the way I told you to do it. Action photographs. If you do travel, put photographs. Just let them know. They can tell that you're in different cities, man. Like, women they're not silly, right? They know where you are, right? And then just put fun things in, and no one hikes, all right? Don't put hiking in there. I know y'all think the motherfucker. No one hikes, bro. All right.
Yo, look. If you need help with your profile, we actually offer that service. You will have to promote.
$99.99.
Look, and you can send it to us in
Send us
Facebook.
your profile. We'll fix it.
We'll do it. Send it as a Facebook ad credit for
Definitely
us.
click this. $99.99. We'll fix your Hinge or your Bumble profile.
Absolutely, man. With that, I want to thank y'all for listening, tuning in. Shout out to Mike for coming in today.
Oh man, let's get it.
Look, and we gonna holler at y'all next time.
Holla at your boy.